Apple became the world's leading smartphone and tech company in an astonishingly short period of time because of their innovative ideas and constant updates. However, recently the company is facing extreme backlash from users across the globe, especially business owners. Find out more, but first, make sure you hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up while you're at it. Apple was voted among the most hated business by 30% of respondents, even more despised than Microsoft, which was ranked as the most hated by 22% of respondents. In a highly unscientific study, 32% of respondents chose Google as their favorite internet company. While Apple seems to be one of the most popular companies in the world, it is also widely hated by many users and users of rival companies. Liking or disliking a brand is a personal opinion, but Apple has been making mistakes that can't go unnoticed. Let's talk about the latest updates by Apple, which has sparked a wave of detest amongst online business owners, especially small businesses. Not so long ago, Apple introduced a permission feature and forced it on almost every app and social platform. This feature asked people to let the app track their activity for business promotions. While this might sound like a win-win for business owners, the high concern was privacy. Many people started protesting on Twitter against this update and wanted it removed. People are already annoyed enough with the excessive ads on every social media platform, and this simply exacerbated the situation. Anyways, how does this feature work in the long run? The App Trapping Transparency function protects user privacy. A prompt asking the user if they want an app to follow their online activities is sent to them. Users have the option of opting in or out of the specified tracking for advertising purposes. Once a user chooses to unsubscribe from the app's prompt, the app developer is no longer able to access the user's data. Facebook can no longer create data profiles of users based on their online activities if a user disables app tracking for the Facebook app on their phone. The purpose of creating these user profiles is to gather data about a user that can be used to display advertising that are pertinent to their interests. By examining their online behavior and activities, it is possible to gain insights on what these interests are. Without tracking, user profiles cannot be developed. Ad targeting and retargeting become less precise as a result. This is the area where it is anticipated that small businesses would have difficulties with their Facebook advertising campaigns. Every small business these days runs Facebook ads. Small businesses employ precise ad targeting to make their campaigns more effective. They have tight financial restrictions and strive to maximize their advertising expenditures. They are aided in doing so via ad targeting. Considering that it enables them to target particular users with particular interests and behaviors. This will be an issue for small businesses who are wholly dependent on Facebook marketing to get new clients or users. And a sizable proportion of small businesses solely rely on Facebook to bring in customers. Many small businesses that depend on internet advertising to bring in new clients told the Financial Times that they did not first notice Apple's limits until only recently, when price inflation stifled consumer demand in important markets around the world. As a result, businesses are abruptly cutting back on their marketing expenditures in an effort to save money. But they are also finding it too expensive to target potential customers as they once did. The issues faced by many small businesses have spread to the online advertising giants. According to Latam, social media platforms Facebook, Snap, Twitter, and YouTube are now expected to lose $18 billion in income this year as a result of Apple's adjustment. Particularly hard-struck was Facebook's parent company Meta, which said earlier this year that Apple's modifications had cost it at least $10 billion. Martinez was successful enough at Facebook marketing that she established a company to train other women to become online business owners. But several of those companies are currently closing their doors. She claimed that because of rising costs and decreased access to data, advertisements are no longer as effective as they once were. Data from 1,300 small businesses were analyzed by Veros, a data-sharing platform that supports e-commerce organizations, and it was discovered that sales declined worsened each month in the second quarter, culminating at a 13% drop in June, the largest decline of this year. In addition, overall ad expenditure on Facebook this year is much greater than it was last year, and the price to gain new clients through online advertising is extremely low. When its cash reserves ran out, and Shelly Cove, a clothing company in North Carolina, realized spending more money on Facebook ads would not increase sales as it always did, it fired its 4-person marketing team last month. The founder of the company opened up about how Facebook advertisements were extremely profitable back in the day. The platform used to help people earn twice as much, and the investments were always worth it. But now things have changed. Smaller brands claimed that while Apple's policy changes may not have affected them as quickly as the major platforms, supply chain problems and the global coronavirus pandemic created a fog of war that made it challenging to comprehend why, for example, last year's holiday shopping season had been disappointing. Because of this, many smaller firms did not change their marketing tactics until recently, which hurt internet advertising networks. In the previous month, Snap announced the worst quarterly sales increase it has ever had. Shopify let go of 10% of its workers. Meta saw its first ever yearly revenue decline, and Twitter declared a loss. Interestingly, the second quarter saw tremendous growth for Google Search and Amazon's advertising businesses, which did not rely on outside tracking and were unaffected by Apple's policy. Market share has also been taken by Apple's own advertising division, Search Ads, which is now expanding to new App Store locations. A user's data belongs to them, and they should get to decide whether to share their data and with whom, Apple claimed after backlash about their privacy policies regarding the permission update. One of the businesses that saw a sudden drop last November when the price to attract new clients jumped was Obvi, an online store for women's health. We were going from one of the best years possible, completely bootstrapped and insanely profitable, and we're about to hit Black Friday and make a huge splash when everything crashed on us. Ashvin Milwani stated, the company's chief marketing officer. Prior to Apple's regulations, Obvi would often spend $30 on Facebook to bring in a new customer, who would then spend on average $60. Last autumn, the price tripled to $90, changing a thriving company into one that's losing money. Milwani claimed that 90% of his daily marketing budget, roughly $20,000, went to Facebook. In the recent months, Obvi has reduced its spending, turned its focus to TikTok, and changed its business strategy to focus on retaining users. Another surprising story is that of Kenco. The last 4 to 6 months have seen the greatest impact from Apple's privacy policy, according to Kelly Dean, Vice President of Marketing at Kenco, a maker of powdered smoothie mix in Portugal. However, she added that determining its exact impact has been challenging because advertising platforms have changed their algorithms in response. There have been lots of platform-wide anomalies and customer acquisition cost spikes, where we don't really know the reasons why, she said. It's scarily reassuring that it's not just us. In the hopes that repeat clients will help keep the business alive, Shelly Cove's Schroeder has reduced his digital advertising expenditure to 1/3 of what it was a month ago. Saying that Apple killed my business is irresponsible, he argued. I realized I was way too dependent on Facebook, the speaker said. Any little firm, at least those who operate online, is at the whim of these big tech giants, he continued. There's just no way around it, so if they do something to screw you, you're screwed. Let us know in the comments below what you think about Apple's permission update, and make sure you like, subscribe, and share.